Hey, shalom, Yasharal world, and brother Ezekiel.
Brother Chris.
And we're back at it for part 2 for fearing the Most High, according to His Word. We left off talking about the circumcision, showing and prove that none of those laws were done away with. They were actually created before Moses came on the scene, and shown and proved by the fear of Abraham, the Most High, and shown his faithfulness that he was going to keep and do all his commandments. And we were just showing and prove that even in the New Testament, when it comes to Gentiles, that they still need to, once they get to a certain part or a certain level, they need to be circumcised as is commanded before before Moses was even thought of. Okay, so that's a commandment. That's a statute forever. Because like it says in Malachi 3:6, I'm the Most High God, I change not. So he's the same as then, he's the same as now. Okay? So we're basically jumping into the next chapter and verse to show and prove how we're supposed to continue to show our fear by obedience to the Most High. Okay? That's why the Most High calls us children, and Yeshua, Yahushua, Jesus Christ says that's our Father in heaven. Okay, so this is what we need to do, is be obedient. So let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 7, and we'll read verse 15 and 16 to show you more obedience and fear of the Most High. But go ahead, Elder.
Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter, verse 15 says, And the Most High will take away from thee all sicknesses, and will put none of the evil diseases of Egypt, which thou knowest upon thee, but will lay them upon all them that hate thee. And thou shalt consume all the people which the Most High thy power shall deliver thee. Thine eyes shall have mercy, have no pity upon them, neither shalt thou serve their gods, for that will be a snare unto thee.
So, show and prove here, if you but fear the Most High, and we're going to get into Psalms and stuff to back all this up, to show and prove that if you fear the Most High, everything that could be wrong with you and things like that, diseases, anything, all these things, you but just turn to Him and you praying about trying to have these things lifted from you and all the calamity that could be going on in your life and things, you really have to ask yourself, have you been keeping His laws? Have you been keeping His word? If you've been keeping His commandments, you shouldn't be having these things done onto you. Okay? Now, mind you, you may, of course, Most High has to make sure that, hey, you still going to stay obedient. Okay? And we've seen that with Job. We've seen that with the Messiah. So just showing to prove to you, these are the rewards and the things the Most High will do for you if you but just turn back onto His word. And as we see today, everybody's trying to figure out Black Lives Matter, why are people getting killed and things like that, and trying to do all these things and go to flesh first before actually going to the Creator. And here it is, they don't know their power, they don't know their Creator. That's why they continue to run to the masters when they're the ones allowing the affliction to go on and things. And above them, it's the Most High allowing it to happen because you don't want to turn back onto Him. So you haven't tried that yet. Okay? But let's jump to Joshua 23 and verse 13 through 16. Chapter 23 and verse 13 through 16, I said? Yeah. I'll get there in 1 second. Okay, go ahead.
Joshua 23rd chapter and verse 13 says, Know for certainty that the Most High thy power will no more drive out any of these nations from before you, but they shall be a snare and traps unto you, and scourges in your sides and thorns in your eyes until you perish from off this good land which the Most High your power hath given you. And behold, this day I am going the way of all the earth, and ye know in all your hearts and in all your souls that not one thing hath failed of all the good things which the Most High your power spake concerning you. All are come to pass unto you, and not one thing hath failed thereof. Therefore it shall come to pass that as all good things are come upon you, which the Most High your power promised you, so shall the Most High bring upon you all evil things, until he hath destroyed you from off this good land, which the Most High your power hath given you. When ye have transgressed the covenant of the Most High your power, which he commanded you, and have gone and served other gods, and bowed yourself unto them, then shall the anger of the Most High be kindled against you, and ye shall perish quickly from off the good land which he hath given unto you.
So, showing and prove right here, once again, not keeping his commandments, that's showing that you fearing him. You don't fear him, all these things are going to be a snare onto you, a thorn in your side, an aggravating splinter that you got in your in a worse place that you can't get, a itch that you can't scratch, and things like that. That's exactly what he's talking about. So shown and prove, if you don't turn back onto him and not fear him, then he's going to continue to allow this to keep happening to you and happening to our people because you don't want to turn on. He said, and it's shown and proved as a witness. All the things I prayed for and things from the Most High that I needed, also that I wanted, he gave. He has. It ain't come on the time that I wanted it to come at. You know what I'm saying? I need it right now. No, that's not how he works. You got to show yourself worthy enough to even receive any of those things. And I even received all the things that I really, really, really want, But the doors is open and I'm continuing to keep showing myself approved onto him, So there's a lot of stuff. Continue to keep studying, to keep reading for yourself, and to get understanding and praying on it and things, and being thankful for things that you never even asked for, or being thankful for chastisement. Literally, how many of us really pray unto the Most High and give thanks for chastising us to show and prove that something we were weak in, that we were lacking in, or we wasn't self-reflected on? You want to thank him for all the good stuff that you deem is good, but you look at your chastisement as being bad, and you don't even want to give thanks for that. So you got to really start to think about these things. But like I said, this is due to not fearing him. He's going to continue to let this stuff happen. But if you do fear him, you'll see he'll show and prove to you that not one word failed him when he said it in Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 14. Of all the blessings that shall come upon you and overtake thee, if you but hearken unto my voice and all my commandments and things. Okay? So let's get some let's jump to some wisdom, since some people still don't really like dealing with Solomon. I'll deal with him. He's still our brother and our ancestor. So let's jump to Proverbs 29 and verse 25. Because, like I was saying, majority of our people run into the slave masters because you really fearing them. You ain't supposed to fear flesh. You're supposed to fear the Most High, which says that he can destroy the body and the soul. Okay? But let's go ahead and get that. Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 25.
Proverbs 29 and 25 says, the fear of man bringeth a snare, but whoso putteth his trust in Yah shall be safe.
The fear of man bringeth a snare. So, as we just read back in Joshua, what was the snare? All the other nations and stuff. Because you too busy, like I said in the last lesson about not following the ways of the Gentile and things. Here it is, you're following every way that they doing things. And yet you still don't want to turn back to the Most High. You fear them than you fear the Most High. You rather read all their books and things Instead of the one and only book, like I said this many times, the one and only book that can save you. You really is not seeking that knowledge and wisdom of the Most High. You really ain't. Because you ain't looking for it. It's not good enough for you. It's boring. That's the reason why you go through the stuff that you go through today. And can continue to keep going through it. Because you even dealing with a reprobated mind. And the crazy part is you're conscious about what's going on, but you don't want to change. So, the fear of man bringeth a snare, but whoso putteth his trust in the Most High shall be safe. As a matter of fact, keep reading down, Elder.
Verse 26. Many seek the ruler's favor.
Many seek the ruler's favor. A lot of y'all out there is looking for the clap of the hands and the acceptance of people. This is what a lot of y'all do. You're afraid that if nobody knows about you, they're not going to care about you. Or nobody does care about you because you're not being heard. You're not being seen. Everybody's like some bully. Once again, Elder. Verse 26.
Many seek the ruler's favor, but every man's judgment cometh from the Most High.
Every man's judgment comes from the Most High. What can a man do to tell you that, oh, well, hey, you're a good person and all this and that and the other. You should receive this. You should receive that. You know, how do you know these things? How do you even know they're good or not? Anybody can put on a facade and a smiling face. They can act like we use the word, oh, well, he needs to start acting like this. No, it shouldn't be acting. You need to be doing. And that's exactly what's happening today. Too many people acting and stuff because they trying to put on some fake facade for the next person to like them. Because they dealing with fear. They ain't trying to see if the Most High likes them. They trying to see what man trying to like. But go ahead, Elder.
An unjust man is an abomination to the just. And he that is upright in the way is abomination to the wicked.
See, I'm going to be dealing with this almost all day today. And then stories, on a regular basis. You a just man in an unjust world. These are the hardship that the Mashiach was talking about when you pick up your cross and follow him. This is all the stuff that's coming with it. Like I told many brothers before, when you get baptized or something, you come out that water, best believe, if you thought it was hard now, you really gonna get tried. And it's exactly what happened every single time. And many brothers and many sisters make it, and many brothers and sisters don't make it. They not, like I said, when we do that baptism, that's a vow you're making onto the Most High that you got to keep. That's a contract you sold. You basically sold yourself back to the Most High, which you shouldn't be. You should just want to do it anyways. Well, we somehow as a nation created strings or stipulations for the Most High. Well, if you do this, and he shouldn't make these things. Like, he shouldn't have to promise us these things. That's the crazy part. But since he loves us so much and he knows we are a stiff-necked people, he did it. So he's rewarding us with certain things, if a lot of things that a lot of y'all will sell your soul for of the worldly stuff. And that's what a lot of entertainers, all this other stuff that's going out here and things, you sold your soul for all this. That's why Mashiach said, what is it to a man who gains the whole world and loses his soul? That's something Ecclesiastes would have said, the preacher, that's vain. I'd rather fear the Most High and gain everything and still keep my soul. So, stuff you guys got to really think about if you're really fearing the Most High. But anyways, let's jump to Proverbs 28 and verse 14.
Proverbs 28 and 14. And it reads, happy is the man that feareth always, But he that hardeneth his heart shall fall into mischief.
But he that hardens his heart shall fall into mischief. I'm sorry, I'm laughing, but it's stuff that we talked about, man. And I said this in a lesson, like, I don't know, about a year ago or so, saying about knowledge, getting knowledge and wisdom and understanding the Most High's word. And, basically I said people like to, do all this and cut these off. You know what I'm saying? They cut their ears off, don't want to listen. Like there's one in Proverbs that talks about almost into the point where you stick weights on your ears, like 1,000-pound weights on your ears, and try to move. Yet you can't move because you're grounded. So that's in a form of you just need to listen. Yeah, well, go ahead, read it. Deuteronomy 28 verse 9.
He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be abomination.
He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be an abomination. Facts. Especially when you're trying to edify people in the law, and a lot of them don't know what they're talking about. When you try to show and prove something to them, for edification. Not to be like, ha ha, I told you so, or I'm Mr. Right. You know what I'm saying? But for edification, and yet you want to turn away, you want to argue the fact about the law when you were in the wrong and saying what you were saying. You come against somebody who studies it, who knows it, who's actually living it. Now you're acting wicked towards that person. That ain't right. You wasn't ready for all that. Okay? But read 14 again, Elder, and then verse 15.
Happy is the man that feareth always, but he that hardeneth his heart shall fall into mischief. As a roaring lion and as a raging bear, so is a wicked ruler over the poor people.
So is a wicked ruler over the poor people. So basically just saying like, hey, once again, you fear these men who's ruling over you, and look at what they're doing. Because you refuse the fact to fear the Most High and let your Abba, the Heavenly Father, be your king, your ruler. Okay? So we've gone through a lot of these before and stuff, but folks just, like I said, it amazes me too. Like, man, it's right here in your face, and yet you still don't want to accept it. You still dealing with whatever you're dealing with inside your temple and things like that. But anyways, let's go back to the law ones. Let's go to Deuteronomy 6, the whole chapter.
Deuteronomy chapter 6.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 1 says, Now these are the commandments and the statutes and the judgments which the Most High your power commanded to teach you, that ye might do them in the land whether you go to possess it, that thou mightest fear the Most High your power to keep all his statutes and commandments which I command thee, thou and thy son and thy son's son, all the days of thy life, and that thy days may be prolonged. Hear therefore, Israel, and observe to do it, that it may be well with thee, and that ye may increase mightily, as the Most High, the power of your fathers, hath promised thee, in the land that floweth with milk and honey. Hear, O Israel, the Most High your power is one power, and thou shalt love the Most High thy power with all thy heart and with all thy soul and with all thy might.
Wow, these are all laws that Jesus, Yeshua, was teaching right here. So this is not commandments in the 10 Commandments. These are laws. Moses' laws, just for argument's sake. When it's not Moses' laws, it's the Most High's. He's teaching you right here laws. This is why you guys still can't understand it. You run to Paul's writings as Paul being the authority. Wrong. You have no understanding. But go ahead, Elder.
Verse 6. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thy heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children.
Teach them diligently unto thy children.
And shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as frontlets before thine eyes. And thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house and on thy gates. And it shall be, when the Most High thy power shall have brought thee into the land which he swore unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give thee great and goodly cities which thou buildest not.
So right here, the Most High is giving you material things. So to all entertainers out there who's probably watching this or may have watched this or came across this and stuff, that you're hearing this, stop selling them your souls out to Shaitan, Satan, for that quick dollar, for material things. The Most High said right here, he will give you material things. He just said, I will give you goodly cities which thou buildest not. So you didn't even put a hand to it. The Most High just moved you in to these cities that you didn't even build and gave it to you. So you want material things. If you seek material things that much, turn back to the Most High and he will give you all those things. And things that you didn't even ask for. He'll give you probably more of your wants than your needs. He's saying it right here. And like I said, I can bear witness to this. Okay? This is a fact. Alright? Well, go ahead, Elder.
Verse 11. And houses full of all good things which thou foundest not, and wells digged which thou diggest not, vineyards and olive trees which thou plantest not, when thou shalt have eaten and be full. Then beware, lest thou forget the Most High, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage.
This is the scary part. This is where you should be fearing. I'm like, wait, okay, yeah, I'm going to get all this. Yo, son, if you don't do this, I'm not going to do all these things for you, and I'm going to make it worse. All right? So he's giving a warning. Here's the fear. But go ahead, Elder.
Verse 13. Thou shalt fear Yah, and serve him, and shalt swear by his name.
You shall fear the Most High, thy Elohim. Ahia, Yah, Yahweh, Yahuwah, and serve him, and shall swear by his name. Now, some will say, well, wait a second. Christ said we ain't supposed to swear by his name. You're not understanding it, what he's saying. When you swear on the Most High, understand that if you take his name in vain, you're dealing with capital punishment. You're lying on the Most High and making his name without worth. Okay? So he's showing and proved to you right there in this law. You should swear by his name. Go ahead.
Verse 14. Ye shall not go after other gods, of the people which are round about you. For the Most High thy power is a jealous power among you, lest the anger of the Father thy power will be kindled against thee, and destroy thee from off the face of the earth. Ye shall not tempt the Most High your power, as ye tempted him in Massa. Ye shall diligently keep the commandments of the Most High your power, and his testimonies, and his statutes which he has commanded thee.
Nah, only the 10 commandments. Only the laws of Moses.
Keep the commandments of your power which he, and his testimonies, and his statutes which he commanded us.
Testimony is the witnesses, and the statute is the order which he commanded. Okay? But go ahead, Elder.
Verse 18. And thou shalt do that which is right and good in the sight of the Most High, that it may be well with thee, that thou mayest go in and possess the good land which Yah sware unto thy fathers, to cast out all thine enemies from before thee, as Most High has spoken. And when thou hast asked, and when thy son asks thee in the time to come, saying, what mean the testimonies and the statutes and judgments which the Most High our power has commanded you? Then thou shalt say unto your son, we were Pharaoh's bondmen in Egypt, and the Most High brought us out of Egypt with a mighty hand.
This is the remembrance right here for your Passover, for the Feast of Unleavened Bread, everything. But you guys, a lot of y'all don't even stop to think about this. You're thinking about singing and dancing, doing tricks on stage and collecting money and things like this on his holy days. Right, speaking in tongues, all this other stuff. Just for entertainment and to please the people because you fear the people instead of fearing the Most High. This is what you guys do. But you have forgot the whole thing about why we're celebrating this. Why we're supposed to keep it. You have forgot all the atrocities that the Egyptians have done and still doing today. But it started in Egypt. That's what you're supposed to be remembering. Heck, since our people have to be so visual, I guess a lot of our people can't draw this up in their mind. And I'm not trying to down talk our people, but you have these talents in you that you need to put to use and you refuse to put them to use. So you can't really draw it up like a lot of other individuals can. You have to see stuff visual. So what I should suggest to you, maybe you should watch the old 10 Commandments movie. That 3-hour-long movie, just to have in your mind, this is the remembrance why we came out of Egypt. Look what he did. Look what Pharaoh's father did. Feeding our babies to alligators and this, that, and the other. Maybe that may help if you could just block out the fact that these are all white people trying to portray as Hamitic people and Shemitic people. Maybe you should start doing that. But this is supposed to be the remembrance. Our people ain't remembering this. But go ahead, Ellie.
And the Father showed signs and wonders and great sore upon Egypt, upon Pharaoh, and upon all his household before our eyes. And he brought us from thence, that he might bring us in to give us the land which he swore unto our fathers. And the Most High commanded us to do all these statutes, to fear the Most High power, for our good always.
For our good always. So anybody telling you not to deal with the laws of Moses, then you don't want no goodness to come on you. Period. And that's the reason why you're going to continue in your own environment and continue to keep in bondage of those curses for every law that you break. And I don't want to hear about, we're still in captivity and things like that, blah, 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 blah. No, you in captivity. From what I'm getting from the Most High, and I'm blessed his name and everything, all praise and blessing and glory to the Most High, Ahaya Ba'Hashem, Hamashiach Shai, Walk with Dash for Walk, Barakatah, bless them all and things. All the things that he's been doing, my job, my children, everything that's happening in my life, for all my chastisement, for the individuals that's in my life, for the chastisement, for the stuff that they do to try to drain me and move me away and knock me off my square dealing with the Most High. I thank the Most High for that because it strengthened me through all that stuff. I can see through all that crap and I'm not dealing with that bull crap. Period. The Most High is giving me rewards, blessings left and right on a regular basis. And that's just a little. So I ain't going to tell my whole business and things. I'm not getting into detail. But I'm telling you what I've gotten. Because I'm trying to be fearful and not trying to be doing to be fearful of the Most High. So I can continue to receive the goodness that he promised us in his own word that you'll get if you but follow him. But go ahead, Elder.
Verse 24, I'm going to read it again. And the Most High commanded us to do all these statutes, to fear the Most High power, for our good always, but that he might preserve us alive as it is at this day.
And to preserve us alive as it is at this day. That you could get eternal life as well. Well, go ahead, Elder.
And it should be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Most High power as he commanded us.
It'll be our righteousness, not theirs, not some other nation. What they worried about, it doesn't matter. It's our righteousness. Our meaning possessive. It's ours. Okay? So, show and approve right there. But anyways, let's jump to, I got pretty much whole chapters, but I mean, like I said, I like to nitpick with the whole word. Let's jump to Psalms 31. And the whole chapter. So we could see more and more all the rewards that you get for keeping his law, statute, commandment, guarding it, being above it, so you're not in bondage under the curses, so therefore you're free from a curse. Okay? From the laws not coming onto you because you being lawless. You wouldn't have to worry about these things if you weren't being lawless. But then that worry comes in when you start breaking those laws. Period. Go ahead, Elliot.
Psalm 31 and verse 1. In thee, O Father, do I put my trust. Let me never be ashamed. Deliver me in thy righteousness.
In thee, O Abba, most high power, Elohim, do I put my trust, and let me never be ashamed. Deliver me in thy righteousness. A lot of y'all do be ashamed to tell the truth. You afraid of the Most High's word. Literally. And look what it's doing. It's causing more individuals. You're planting so many seeds to be ashamed and scared of actually teaching the full Torah, the full word, because you worry about people walking away. Oh, he's changed. He's not the same. Oh, no, she's different. Because you rather stand for truth instead of lies or man-made doctrines again. But, anywho, go ahead, Elder.
Bow down thine ear to me. Deliver me speedily. Be thou my strong rock, for an house of defense to save me. For thou art my rock and my fortress. Therefore, for thy name's sake, lead me and guide me.
So for the Most High's name's sake, please do what you said you were going to do. I'm putting all my faith, my trust in you. I fear you. Please keep this going, because I don't want your name to go without worth. Because all these other nations will be like, oh, that's their God? Look, he don't even want to save them. And that's a lot of them was trying to say that in the scripts. So you have to really lean on him. Seriously. Stop leaning and putting your trust in flesh. Put it on the Most High, which is spirit.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead, Elder.
Verse 4. Pull me out of the net that they have laid privily for me. For thou art my strength. Into thine hand have I committed my spirit, that thou hast redeemed me, O Father of truth. I have hated them that regard lying vanities, but I trust in thee, O Father.
Well, we ain't supposed to hate. Well, Ecclesiastes says something different. There's a time and season. There's a time to love, and there's a time to hate. But wait a second. God ain't about hate. Jesus is about love. Wait a second. This is coming from Yeshua's or Jesus's forefather, which is King David. Okay? You're supposed to hate the same things the Most High hates. You ain't supposed to love it what he hates. Because then that means you serving that other master, you loving what they doing. Okay? But go ahead, Elder.
I will be glad and rejoice in thy mercy, for thou hast considered my trouble. Thou hast known my soul in adversities, and hast not shut me up into the hand of the enemy. Thou hast set my feet in a large room. Have mercy upon me, O Father, for I am in trouble. Mine eye is consumed with grief, yes, my soul and my belly. For my life is spent with grief, and my tears with sighing. My strength faileth because of my iniquity, and my bones are consumed. I was a reproach among all mine enemies, but especially upon my neighbors, and a fear to mine acquaintance, that they that did see me without fled from me.
So David is saying, I'm a reproach among all my enemies, but especially among my neighbors. Talking about your own people. So in this walk, when you actually standing up for the Most High and really want to do everything He's asking you, living in and stuff, guess what? You are going to be the same thing. You're going to get the same hatred from your own people. They're going to look at you with a wicked eye. Oh, you must be holier than thou. Or, you must know everything. He thinks he knows everything. But you're a reproach onto them. And the bad thing about it, people don't want to recognize that. They don't want to recognize the sin that they're doing. That's the problem. So that shows and proves that they ain't studying for themselves. They ain't seeking the Father's face. They ain't looking for those rewards. Because they ain't fearing them. Like I said, once again, I'm going to tell you once again, you do not have control over nobody. Always remember that. You only have control over self. Only thing you can get from people is respect. And still, you don't even have control over that either. If people don't want to respect you, cut them. Cut it off. Because all they're going to do is be toxic, spewing toxin to you, bringing wickedness to you, and draining you like a little vampire. And even Christ said you ain't supposed to stick around with them individuals. Yeah, you're supposed to go to them and try to help heal them, but they don't want the healing. Why? Right. Unevenly yoked. They ain't trying to be one. That whole, one love. Only way that one love is going to happen is when you get rid of those ones that don't want to fear the Most High. Cut them. They got to go. Okay? Well, go ahead, Elder.
Verse 12. I am forgotten as a dead man out of mind. I am like a broken vessel. For I have heard the slander of many. Fear was on every side. While they took counsel together against me, they devised to take away my life.
See, you see what he says? For I have heard the slander of many. In context, this is still talking about our own people. It says, for I have heard the slander of many. Fear was on every side. While they took counsel together against me, they devised to take away my life. Same thing what they did with the Mashiach. Yeah, it's fearful to hear these things, to know these things. But wait a second. You overcome that fear by one thing, which is the next verse. Go ahead, Elder.
Verse 14, but I trusted in thee. O Father, I said, thou art my power.
But I trusted in thee. O Most High, I said, thou art my Elohim. It don't matter. Whatever's going around you, man. Listen, I can pull out so many scriptures with the Most High will bless you. But maybe I'll do a whole lesson on blessings and stuff. But if people trying to hurt you physically, guess what? At that time came, the Most High will give you hands of war. You could take them out in an instant. And honestly, you probably wouldn't have to put no hands on them. Most High have something invisible sit there and get in their way or do something to them. And they sitting there all looking astonished like, man, what happened, man? I just lost a finger. He didn't even touch, I mean, it could happen. I mean, he did use an angel to cut up a whole army and stuff, and they couldn't even see what happened. They were already dead before they could realize that they was hacked up. Okay? But the mentality is, the mindset you have to have, you can't deal with fear. When I was with the camps, I went out there to street teach by myself. And the brother said, man, that's good. The deacon at the time said, oh, brother, that's good. You doing this, that, and the other. But you shouldn't be out there alone. You should bring, should have some more brothers out there with you. For what? Why am I scared of my own people? I'm sitting here, I have to do what the Most High said. I wasn't thinking about somebody trying to hit me or do something wrong or some bullets flying and things like that. I don't even think about those things. I'm not trying to think about those things. That's fearful. That stuff is contagious. I don't even want it around me. And that's not being foolish or strong-minded or, boastful or whatever word you want to use to say, oh man, he act like he can't be touched. Well, according to the Most High's word, if I'm doing everything he's asking, I can't be touched. I won't be touched. The only time I can be touched if I'm not doing what the Most High said and commanded me to do. Period. But go ahead, Elder.
Verse 14, I trusted in thee, O Father, I said, thou art my power. My times are in thine hand. Deliver me from the hand of mine enemies and from them that persecute me. Make thy face to shine upon thy servant. Save me for thy mercy's sake. Let me not be ashamed, O Father, for I have called upon thee. Let the wicked be ashamed, and let them be silent in the grave.
Let them be silent in the grave. This is a prayer besides just a song. Okay? So, hey, you think the Most High ain't hearing this? And some say, "What? Ain't that wicked to pray on, to think ill will or to pray ill will?" No. He's saying, let all them enemies that's trying to come against me, and let them be silent in their grave. That's nothing bad. These people are trying to kill me and stuff, and they're saying all these slanderous things. Let them be silent in their grave. Okay? But go ahead, Elder.
Let the lying lips be put to silence, which speak grievous things proudly and contemptuously against the righteous. Oh, how great is thy goodness, which thou hast laid upon them that fear thee, which thou hast wrought for them that trust in thee before the sons of men.
Before the sons of men. It says, oh, how great is thy goodness, which thou hast laid up for them that fear thee, which thou hast wrought for them that trust in thee before the sons of men. Fearing them, fearing the Most High instead of fearing the sons of men. All that greatness and all that goodness is laid up for you if you but just turn to him. Nothing's going to happen to you. But go ahead, Elder.
Verse 20. Thou shalt hide them in the secret of thy presence. From the pride of man, thou shalt keep them secretly in a pavilion from the strife of tongues.
The Most High said, listen, I'm not even going to have them around you. I'm not even going to keep them around you. They're going to all be separated from you. And I know this for a fact, because I always used to say at one point, I used to get hyped, like, man, y'all always forever getting in, y'all getting brawlings and stuff. And in the days I'm not bouncing at the club, there's fights going on, and I can't get into the rumble with it and things like that. The reason is because the Most High predestined something about me. He don't want me getting touched. And then that's not boastful. That's even at the time when I wasn't even conscious about the Most High. When I was a 5%, I was still going around saying the black man is God. I'm God. There's no spook in the sky. There's no mystery God. I said I was God because I knew what I was talking about, and from the scriptures that I took while we were teaching this in 120 class of the nations of gods and earths. So at that time, this whole time I didn't even know that. But now as reading this and coming through this and woken up to the Most High, now I understand why. And that's not boastful once again. That's just praising the Most High's name because he said he would do these things. Even in my own ignorance, I didn't know those things. So this is why stuff doesn't happen to certain individuals. It won't happen to you if you but turn back to him and fear him. That's it. But go ahead, Elder.
Verse 21. Blessed be the Father, for he hath shown me his marvelous kindness in a strong city. For I said in my haste, I am cut off from before thine eyes. Nevertheless, thou heardest the voice of my supplications when I cried unto thee. O Father, love the Father, for all ye his servants. For the Most High preserveth the faithful and plentifully rewarded the proud doer. Be of good courage, and he shall strengthen your heart, all ye that hope in the Father.
So, good courage, he'll reward you, be a proud doer of the Most High's. There's nothing wrong with that. You could be proud to do his work and keep his law, statute, and commandments, and teach his son, in the Ruach, everything. There's nothing wrong with that. But you find it shameful to say onto those things. You're ashamed to talk about the things that people are just not wanting to hear, or they get offended by it and things, whether it's men or women or other nations. You worried about, oh man, they might, and I'm guilty of doing that. I was guilty of doing that, tiptoeing around, man, I'll say this, and man, I don't know how they gonna feel and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, I had to get out of that as well. Like, no, what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. There can't be a respecter of a person when it comes to that. And that doesn't mean go out there and just be some what's the word I'm looking for? When you're doing the work, there's passion with it, but then there's a balance too. You just don't be like, holier than thou and prideful, like, oh yeah, like you've been knowing this all your whole life. You haven't. And that's a form of teaching the people when you're out there doing these things. You have to deal with their level. You have to come down to their level. You can't just be one-track mind at one specific level and expect everybody to be where you're at. Because otherwise, you're just going to lose everything. And all the stuff you're doing is out there is going to be vain. Okay? But let's jump to the next chapter. Let's go to Psalms 112 and verse 1 through 10. And these are a lot of songs that David wrote. A whole lot. Psalms chapter 112, verse 1 through 10.
Psalm 112. Praise ye the Most High. Blessed is the man that feareth the Most High, that delighteth greatly in his commandments.
That delighteth greatly in his commandments. Praise ye the Most High. Blessed is the man that feareth the Most High. Plain and simple. Commandments, not just the 10. It didn't say 10. It didn't say the laws. It said commandments, plural. All of them. Mm-hmm. Blessed is that man. Obviously, Yeshua, Jesus Christ, was that blessed man who feared the Most High and diligently kept his law, statute, and commandments. And you see the reward that he got. The power that he was able to do. Okay? Not of his own will, but what the Father allowed him to do. Doing all these things. All you magicians out there and things like that, you ensold your soul just to do the same stuff that the Most High would freely gave it onto you. But if you just waited, had patience, and served them. But you want it quick. And this goes back into this whole bullying thing. There's all these other nations throwing temper tantrums because they're not being heard or they need to be great. This is why they make statues. They name must go down in history forever and ever. All these things just because they want to be heard and seen for the applaud of the people and stuff. But once again, you ain't fearing them. But go ahead, Elder.
Verse 2. His seed shall be mighty upon earth. The generation of the upright shall be blessed.
His seed, his children shall be mighty upon the earth. And the generation of the upright shall be blessed. So, I want to be upright. I want to get blessed. I want sons and sons and sons. Upright sons, righteous sons, and daughters. I mean, I got daughters already, but I need some sons. But anywho, they'll be strong. Okay? Because they fear in the Most High. But go ahead, Ellie.
Wealth and riches shall be in his house, and his righteousness endureth forever.
Wealth and all this material stuff, he's giving it to you. If you but just turn to him. I have many brothers out here that could bear witness to this. They can give a testimony about it. Maybe I should do that one day. We all should just take turns giving a testimony for 1 hour of all our stuff that the Most High has given to us, plus more. It's not about boasting. It's just showing and prove that, hey, as a matter of fact, I'll bring the papers in so you guys can see. Okay? To show that he's real and he's not going back on his word. All right? But as we see, you can get all these material things that you so desire for, whether it's a car, houses, gold bars, boats, ships, whatever. He'll give it to you if you just turn onto him. But go ahead, Elder.
Unto the upright there arises light in the darkness. He is gracious and full of compassion and righteous. A good man showeth favor and lendeth. He will guide his affairs with discretion. Surely he shall not be moved forever. The righteous shall be in everlasting remembrance.
The righteous shall be an everlasting remembrance. I don't need to make no stupid idol or some statue about myself for somebody to remember me. See why you don't follow the ways of the Gentile? But you guys do this just for remembrance. I need my name to be great out here. And entertainment. I need people to wear my jerseys. I need the pictures. All this and that and the other. Just to be called great. You know what I'm seeking? I'm going to tell you something. This is what I'm seeking. I'm not seeking for anything on this earth. I'm not seeking for the applaud of any man or woman or child out here. I'm not seeking for that. What I'm seeking is the reward that the Most High said and the applaud of an angel. The applause of the angel is basically saying is that they're happy that you get one soul to come back besides yourself. Just one, they're happy about this. And these angels even bow down to, the Mashiach, as it says in Revelation, so forth and so on. But that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the ancestors that's still in the bosom of Abraham, who is, if the Most High is allowing them to hear what's going on up here, that they're applauding. They're cheering on that we are doing the work. We are trying to get this going. And we ain't thinking about all this stuff of the world and things. We're not dwelling on those things. That's what I'm not dwelling on. I'm dwelling on whatever makes the fathers happy and what's going on in the heavenly realms. That's what I'm searching for. That's what I'm seeking. Literally. That's why when people tell me certain things about, oh, well, brother such and such got this and he got that and this is how I'm doing it. There's a huge following. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful or some arrogant little prick. It doesn't mean anything to me. It truly doesn't. I'm not seeking those things. A lot of y'all fell into that dang trap too. That's what you were seeking, and look what happened. And it didn't come by the Most High. It came by the people pedestaling you guys. Now they turn to you as you being their God. Like I said, you got living idols now. Seriously, living idols that's hollow. But they're alive. And which are called men today, women today. Heck, even children, because people idolize them. All these TV shows and everything. Man. You see, you should actually look into entertainers' eyes and things like that when they hear the applause of the people. I don't know if you can see it, but I can see it. This spirit comes on in them. They get Google-eyed, and it's be like, all of a sudden, they may not show it, but their chin rises up like, that's right. Take a picture of greatness. And that's stealing glory, literally, from the Most High and for the Mashiach. Because the Mashiach will have them bow down at your feet. Because the Most High said, I have loved thee. So he will make them bow down to you. But instead, you rather go the quick route, sell your soul, and get that easy money and stuff, and have the people applauding for you. That's what you want it now. when you could probably get all these things while you in the kingdom and still have all the nations know who you were because you had touched their heart, their mind, and brought them back to the Most High. But you don't stop to think about those things. A lot of you guys don't. Not all, but a lot of y'all. Majority. But go ahead, Elder.
Verse 7. He shall not be afraid of evil tidings. His heart is fixed, trusting in the Most High. His heart is established. He shall not be afraid until he sees his desire upon his enemies.
His heart is established. He shall not be afraid until he sees his desires upon his enemies. So, enemies are going to get what they're going to deserve. And you're sitting there thinking about what needs to be done. Like, you want to see this stuff happen because you turn on to the Most High. You want to see one of these powers, one of his marvel works happen to your enemies when that time comes. And then you could laugh it up. Because even the Most High said he mocked those that, he's sitting on his throne mocking those who, are trying to be against him or trying to be above him and all this and that and the other when they're in their own calamity and stuff. And there's scriptures that back that up. So when people say, oh, I shouldn't laugh, I am going to laugh. The Most High made me in his image, so therefore I'm going to laugh. Because I can see what they're doing and the Most High is laughing. I'm going to laugh too. Like, you shouldn't have did what you did. You should have listened to what he said to do. But instead, you don't want to do it. So, of course, I'm going to laugh at you. Okay? So, anywho, but continue, Elder.
Verse 9. Mm-hmm. He had dispersed, he hath given to the poor, his righteousness endureth forever. His horn shall be exalted with honor. The wicked shall see it and be grieved. He shall gnash his teeth and melt away. The desires of the wicked shall perish.
So show and approve right there. And they do. They hate you. They really do. Sometimes they don't even want to say a word to you. But they grinding in their mouth. Because some of the things you saying is touching them. It's guilt that's sitting on them. And then the crazy part is that they don't like you so dang much that when they see you and everything you're doing and stuff for the Most High, because they have this type of, they drew up this image about you when it's really not you, it's really them being all negative and stuff. So now when they start seeing the blessings come on you and stuff, they get even more bitter. They get so dang bitter to the point it's just like, man, they don't even know what to do. And obviously we seen that when Pharaoh's heart was hardened and, the whole place is turning pitch black and dark and stuff, but except for the land of Goshen, it's still light over there. All these plagues coming on Egypt, but they ain't touching Goshen. It's the same thing. You have to take into your mind and your body what's going on. You supposed to be Goshen. All this whole land, the whole world is Egypt. So no matter where you go, you ain't going to be touched. Because you got the Most High and you follow his law, statute, and commandments. So you're not in captivity. But yet, you still have people still fearing men. And this is the reason why you get hurt. Same thing that we said about, I said this in lessons before, football. I played football. I'm an athlete. I played many sports. Football, it's one thing. You step on that gridiron, that field, you're suited and booted and stuff. If you go out there playing scared, guess what? You're going to get hurt and you might end up getting your teammate hurt. And I've seen it happen many times. Many. Cats' shins have snapped in two. Guys' legs and got folded a certain degree backwards and stuff because they were all acting scared. Or the man inside them was acting scared or not putting so much more effort into it to help. That's the same thing. That's just low-level stuff in the physical that I bear witness to. So if you can't take that little small thing and put it into the same thing with the Most High of fearing him that way, then what are you doing? What is your work amounting up to? It's since you claim you're in the truth. That's something y'all need to really sit back and think about. You know? So, but anyways, I said I was going to do this. We're going to pick up in, we're going to end this now. We're going to pick up in Psalms chapter 115, the whole chapter, when we come back next week, most high willing. And, you know, like I said, this stuff is draining. It really is. You know, and trying to help our people out and do the work and keep our own sanity is, man, that's work in itself. I don't even see who would actually really want to do this type of work when you have to deal with all of these different things. Okay? But anywho, like I said, I always hope you guys really do get some knowledge, some wisdom, and understanding for those that do watch, you know. And I hope it does. I hope these do plant seeds in you, and I hope it grows a righteous seed, and you can help others do the same thing, and so forth and so on, to the point where, hey, you know, we ready, you know, we want our names earned in that book of life. Okay? But anywho, hope you guys got some more knowledge and some wisdom and understanding. And most high willing, next week we'll be back with y'all with part 3. Yeah. So anywho, I'm Brother Ezekiel.
Brother Chris.
And we're saying Shalom, Yesha Allah, and the world.
Shalom.